Hello students, today we will start our first chapter of subject Operations Research, which is Introduction to Operation Research, prepared by me, Assistant Professor Sumit Singh Sikarwar, Mechanical Engineering Department, Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology. These are the few points which we are going to cover in our video. First we'll cover origin of Operation Research. Then we'll discuss objectives of Operation Research. With many definitions, we are trying to define Operations Research. After that, we'll discuss characteristics of Operation Research. And then we'll discuss scope and applications of Operation Research. So let us continue with origin of Operation Research. Operations Research is a war baby. So why it is war baby? It is because the first problem attempted to solve in the systematic way was concerned with the how to set the time fuse bomb to be dropped from an aircraft onto a submarine. In fact, the main origin of the operations research was during the Second World War. At the time of World War, the military management in England invited a team of scientists to study the strategic and tactical problems related to air and land defense of country. The problem attained importance because at that time the resources available with England was very limited and the objective was to win the war with available limited resources. These resources such as food, medicine, ammunition, manpower, etc. were required to manage war and for the use of population of the country. Again, it was necessary to decide upon the most effective utilization of available resources to achieve such large objective. It was also necessary to utilize the military resources cautiously. Hence, the generals of military invited a team of experts from various fields of life, such as scientists, doctors, mathematicians, business persons, professors, engineers, etc. And the problem of resource utilization is given to them to discuss and come out with the best feasible solution. Now these experts had a brainstorming session and came out with a method of solving the problem which they coined the name linear programming. Again, this method worked out well in solving the war problem. As the name indicates, the word operations is used to refer to problems of military and the word research is used to for inventing new methods. As this method of solving the problem was invented during the World War, the project is given the name Operations Research. A large number of operations research consultants are now available to deal with the different types of problem. In India also, we have OR, Society of India, which was established in 1958 to help in solving various problems. Today, the operation research techniques are taught at high school levels also. To quote some Indian industries which uses these operation research for problem solving are Delhi Cloth Mills, Indian Railways, Indian Airlines, Hindustan Unilever, Tata Iron and Steel Company, Fertilization, Fertilizers Corporation of India, and defense organizations. Now, in one word, we can say that the operation research play a vital role in every organization, especially in decision making process. Now let us discuss the objectives of operation research. So we know that today's situation in which a manager has to work is very complicated due to complexity in business organization. Today's business unit have number of departments and each department work for fulfilling the objectives of the organization. While doing so, the individual objective of one of the department may be conflicting with the objective of other department, though both working for achieving the same common goal in the interest of organization. Now, in this situations, it will be very complicated issue for general manager to get harmony among the departments and to allocate the available resources of all sorts of departments to achieve the goal of organization. At the same time, the environment in which the organization is operating is very dynamic in nature and manager has to take decision without delay to stand competitive in market. Now, if at the same time he will take a wrong decision or untimely decision, it may cost to organization. Hence, the decision making process has become very complicated, at the same time very important in the environment of conflicting interest and competitive strategies. Hence, it is desirable for modern manager to use the scientific methods with mathematical base while making such decision instead of depending on guesswork and thumb rule methods. Hence, the knowledge of this operations research is an essential tool for managers who is involved in decision making process. So the main objective of operation research is the objective of operation research is to provide a scientific basis to the decision maker for solving the problems involving the interaction of various components of an organization by employing a team of scientists from various disciplines, all working together for finding a solution, which is the best interest of organization as a whole. The best solution thus obtained is known as optimal solution. So these are the objective of to achieve the best optimal solution utilizing scientific manner, taking a correct decision in favor of organization so that it will help to grow any organization. Our next topic is definitions. So many experts has given many definitions to explain operation research. First definition was given by Arthur Clarke, which was operation research is the art of winning wars without actually fighting. Now we know that this definition does not throw any light on the subject of matter, but it is oriented towards warfare. It means to say that the direction of for fighting are planned and guidance is given from a remote area according to which the war is fought and won. Perhaps you might have also read in Mahabharata or you might have seen old pictures where the two armies are fighting, for whom the guidance is given by the chief minister and the king with the chessboard in front of them. Accordingly, war is fought in the war front. The next definition was given by SSIT, which was operations research is the art of giving bad answers to the problems where the otherwise worse answers are given. Now, this definition covers one aspect of decision making, such that choosing the best alternative among the list of available alternatives. It says that if the decisions are made on guesswork, we may face the worst situation. But if that decisions are made on the scientific basis, it will help us to make better decisions. Hence, this definition deals with one aspect of decision making and not clearly tells what is operation research. Another definition which was given by J. Steinhardt, that operation research is the research into. Now, this definition does not give anything in a clear about the subject of operation research and simply says that it is research into operations. Now, the operations may be referred as military activities or simply the operations that an executive perform in his organizations while taking decisions. Another definition given by P.M. Morse and G.E. Kimball, that operations research is defined as scientific method for providing executive departments as quantitative basis for the decisions regarding the operations under their control. Now, this definition suggests that the operation research provides a scientific method for an executive to make an optimal decision, but it does not give any information about the various model or method which we need to utilize for solving these problems. But this suggests that executives can use scientific method for decision making. Another definition: operation research is the application of scientific methods, techniques, and tools to operation of a system with optimum solution to the problem, which was given by Churchman, Acknoff, and Arnoff. Now, this definition clearly states that the operation research applies scientific methods to find an optimum solution to a problem of a system. Now, a system may be production system or information system or any system which involves man, machine, and other resources. We can clearly identify that this definition takes three important aspects of operations research, such that application of scientific method, study of system, and optimal solutions. Another definition is operations research is the application of the theories of probability, statistics, queuing, gaming, linear programming, etc. to the problems of war, government, and industries. Now, this definition gives a list of various techniques used in the operations research by various managers to solve the problems under their control. A manager has to study the problem, formulate the problem, identify the variables, and formulate a model. And then he needs to select an appropriate technique to have optimal solution. So we can say that Operation research, from this definition, is a bunch of mathematical techniques to solve problems of a system. Another definition of operation research is the use of scientific methods to provide criteria or decisions regarding man-machine systems involving repetitive operations. Now, this definition talks about man-machine system and the use of scientific methods and decision making. It is more general and comprehensive and exhaustive than other definitions, where a study of system involving man, machine, the person in charge of the system and involved in decision making will use scientific method to make the optimal decisions. From all the definition, the use of this all definitions, or we can say that the salient features of all the definitions are: operation research uses scientific methods for making decision. It is interdisciplinary approach for solving problems, and it uses the knowledge and experience of experts in the various fields. While analyzing the problems, all aspects are considered and examined and analyzed scientifically for finding the optimal solutions for the problem on hand. Operation research provides scientific base for decision making, and it also provides scientific substitute for judgment and intuition. As operations research has scientific approach, it improves the quality of answers to the problems. So these are few definitions and the use of all the definitions. Now let us move on to our next topic, which is characteristics of operation research. So operation research will talk about the three main important characteristics, which are: operations research is an interdisciplinary team approach. Now it states that the problems an operations research analyst face is heterogeneous in nature, involving number of variables and constraints which are beyond the analytical ability of one person. Hence, people from the various disciplines with various knowledge are required to understand the problems, who applies their spatial knowledge acquired through experience to get a better view of the cause and the effects of events in the problems, and finally they will have the best solution for the problem on hand. The another characteristic of operations research is operation research increases the creative ability of decision maker. Now, the operation research provides manager mathematical tools, techniques and various models to analyze the problems on hand and to evaluate the outcomes of the various alternatives and make an optimal choice. This will definitely helps him in making better and quick decisions. A manager without knowledge of these techniques has to make decisions by guessing or by thumb rule, which may click sometimes, or it may causes him in a trouble also. Hence, if a manager who uses the operation research techniques will have a better creative ability than the manager who does not use the techniques. Another characteristic of this system: operation research is a system approach. Now, let us discuss about this characteristic. A businessman, a business or any government organization or any defense organization may be considered as a system having various subsystems. Now, if decision made by any subsystem, then it will also affect on the other subsystems. Say for example, a decision taken by marketing department will have its effect on production department too. Now, when dealing the operation research problems, one has to consider the entire system and characteristics of the subsystems, the interrelationship between the subsystems, and then analyze the problem, search the suitable model, and get the solution for the problem. Hence, we can say that operations research is a systems approach. Now, the scope of any subject. It indicates the limit of application of the subject matter or techniques of the subject to various fields to solve the variety of problems. But we have studied in the objective of operation research that it will give a scientific base for the executive to take decisions or to solve the problems of systems under their control. The system may be business, industry, government, or defense. Not only this, but the definitions discussed also gives the different versions. This indicates that the techniques of operation research may be used to solve any type of problems. The problems may pertain to an individual, group of individuals, business, agriculture, government, or any body. Now let us discuss the application of operations research. The first application is in defense operations. As we had already discussed that operations research is the baby of World War II. To solve the war problems, they have applied team approach and come out with the various models such as resource allocation model, transportation model, etc. Now, in any war field, two or more parties are involved, each having different resources. It could be manpower, ammunition, different courses of actions, or strategies for for application. Again, every opponent has to guess the resources with the enemy and his courses of action, and accordingly he has to attack the enemy. For this, he needs scientific logical analysis of the problem to get fruitful results. Here, one can apply these techniques like linear programming, game theory, or inventory models, etc., to win the game. So, we can say that operations research techniques will help the department heads to take appropriate decisions in defense operations. Our next application is in industry. So after the Second World War, the industries was facing a depression, and to solve the various industrial problems, industrialists tried to model which were successful in solving their problems. In fact, decision trees, inventory models, linear programming, transportation model, sequencing model, assignment model, and replacement models are very helpful to the managers to solve the various problems. they face in their day-to-day work. Now, these models are used to minimize the cost of production and increase the productivity and use the available resources carefully for healthy industrial growth. So, we can say that operation research is very useful part of any industry. Our third application is in planning for economic growth. Now, country like India, we have 5-year planning for steady economic growth. Every state government has to prepare plans for the balanced growth of state. For that, various secretaries belonging to different departments has to coordinate and plan for the steady economic growth. Now for this, all the departments can use operation research techniques for planning purpose so that they can easily solve their problems which they are facing day to day. Operation research can also be applied in agriculture. So we know that the demand for the food product is increasing day by day due to the population explosion. But the land available for the agriculture is very limited. We must find never ways of increasing agricultural yield. So the selection of land area for agriculture and the seed of food grains for sowing must be uh, selected basis on the operation research. This operation research can also be helpful in traffic control. So in country like India, where a huge amount of population is available, due to the population explosion, the increase in the number and varieties of vehicles, road density is continuously increasing. Especially in peak hours, it will be a headache to control the traffic. Hence, proper timing of traffic signal is necessary. Now, depending on the flow of the commutes, power signaling time is to be worked out. This can easily done by queuing theory. So again, operation research is very useful in traffic control. In hospitals, many times we see that very lengthy queues of patients near hospitals and few of them get treatment and the rest of them have to go without treatment because of time factor. Sometimes we have problems, non-availability of essential drugs, shortage of ambulances, shortage of beds, etc. Now these problems can be conveniently solved by the application of operation research techniques. So from the above discussed problems, these are the few among many problems that can be solved by the application of operation research. This shows that operations research has no limit on its scope of application. So here we are finishing the first session of this video. In next session, we'll have another topics which we are going to cover in our next video. Thank you for listening.